Week 9, wow, 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 wow. Guess who's here? This is a late ad. I was driving into work this morning. Demario Davis, like, I'll come on the show. Demario Davis with the strip sack in the Saints win over my woeful, sorry Bears. He'll be here. And by the way, the Saints move up to the big dogs, hey now, in the NFC South. And to break down everything, I'm talking Dobbs, Burrow, Tua Lipa, Stroud, Cowboys. Taylor Lewan on the show. So much to get to in just an hour. We're going to hit those YouTube breaks, meaning go to YouTube right now at Up and Adam Show, because we're going to be going through these games in the breaks. It's a packed show, entire 60 minutes, so we're going to get right to it. Taylor Lewan, Demario Davis on the show, and I need all the time I can to just revel. We're going to revel in what happened last night. My Super Bowl choice. To get there, to win it all, they're here. Bengals knocking off the Bills. I don't know what kind of rivalry this is, 24-18. I'll dig deeper into the game for a moment, but just for a second. Let's soak it in, Bengals fans. With this win, Cincy moves into a playoff spot. As I said Friday, that knocks the Buffalo Bills to the outside looking in. Exactly 1 month ago, this team was 1-3. They're concerned about Joe's health. I can't do it all. It's over for them. They've already responded, saying, shut up! 4 straight wins. Read it and weep. They've moved all the way back into a playoff spot already. And, like, could they be playing any better right now? Could they... take Chase away, no problem. I got to start with what we're seeing out of Joe Burrow. He moves to 5-1 against Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen in his career, and he's playing the best he's ever played. I invited his parents to be on the show this week. I want to talk to his parents. I want to talk to Robin. I want to talk to Jimmy. We have things to talk about this absolute force out there doing it. What we saw last night was incredible. Sean McDermott basically said, you're going to have to, very Belichick-y, you're going to beat us without number 1, without Jamar Chase. Joe didn't blink. He threw for 348, 307 of those to people not named Jamar. He didn't even target it once on the first drive. He threw 2 touchdowns, both to tight ends. T. Higgins, sensational. T. Higgins playing for a lot, for his team, for a lot more in his future, of course. He steps it up with a $110 of those yards. And Joe was just like, I'm like, what is this Buffalo defense? He's just picking them apart. Take a look at what he's done now, not just against Buffalo. So I'm not just beating up on the pinata this Buffalo this morning. No, he's done the last 2 games against 2 of the scariest defenses in the league. He's thrown for 300 yards per game, completed nearly 80% of his passes, and he's got a sterling, near-perfect passer rating. It would be impressive against anybody, but who does that against these defenses? Nobody. This is truly special, and we got to give it to my favorite coach in the National Football League. I said it the day the season started, Coach Lou. By the way, Bengals fans not happy with me. Coach Lou's out the door. Like, enjoy Coach Lou while you have him. Like, he's Toodles. He is Toodles the second they win that Super Bowl because he's going to be a head coach. This defense did their thing as well. We're going to talk about that a little bit more throughout the week, of course. But let's shout out Bengals fans. They continue to embrace primetime better than any other fan base. They raise their game under the bright lights as well. They're not competing against 31 other teams. They're competing against themselves out there. I know some of these people, they're so dedicated. They're very inventive. They push the limit. They want the best experience for the fans. What more could you ask for from somebody who's calling the shots as far as what a game looks like at Paycor or any stadium? Take notes, everybody. The Stripe the Jungle looked so freaking cool. It looked awesome. Everyone was loud. The team was loose. I mean, what did Rodney Harrison say? Borderline cocky? Okay, Rodney, cool. How'd that work out? The atmosphere looked 10 out of 10. I don't know how I missed this game. I don't know how I wasn't there. Maybe I'm waiting for the playoffs. But we'll dig into more on the Bengals side of things, more on the defense, more on Cameron Taylor-Britt, all of that. We'll have Taylor Lewan here in a minute. But I do want to touch on some things here right now. They played a solid game last night, but they're 2-3 in their last 5. And I think who am I talking about right now? I think I'm talking about the Bills. The Bills. Okay, I mentioned this earlier, that they sort of get knocked out of that playoff bracket, right? They're out of the AFC playoff picture. But I do want to see, and I'll ask Taylor Lewan about this, like, can Josh Allen turn things around? When you, like Coach Lou did, do exactly what McDermott did, takes away your best weapon, that is Stephon Diggs, who's the number 2? Who can you get the ball to? Can you adjust? Burrow adjusted. Is it because he's got a better skill set at wide receiver, or is it something else? We're going to dig into all of that. Your thoughts at Up and Adam Show. Marissa?
Yes.
Let's go to Philly. Were you sweating this game?
The last minute for sure.
Girl.
But the rest, I was kind of feeling myself. We looked a little good. We looked a little loose.
Yeah?
I liked it. Yeah.
I thought you wanted to talk to Kevin Byard.
We did. We had a conversation. We're all good now.
Okay.
He made up for it.
Okay, good. Okay, in Philly. Okay. And she's talking about how the Eagles sort of almost let it slip through their little fingers, but they held on to beat the Cowboys 28-23. The win moves Philly to 8-1. And that, listen, it's them and everybody else. That puts them in the driver's seat in the NFC. They're 1.5 games up on the Lions for the 1 seed, 2.5 up on Dallas for the division lead as they head into their bye. And looking at this game, the Eagles' approach wasn't their prettiest, wasn't their cutest of the season, but I think it was by design, and it led them to taking home the W. The Eagles, they decided, something I love, something I wish other teams around the NFL would do. I don't know, Packers finally giving the ball to Aaron Jones. I don't know, like, Bills, why don't you use your run game? I don't know, where's Derrick Henry? The Eagles said, okay, I get it. We're going to go with our run-heavy approach. And they weren't even super efficient with it, but they stuck with it, and it ultimately worked. You love to see it. They ran it 33 times, 3.3 yards per carry. They threw just 23 times. Just 23 times. They've been averaging just under 38 per game over the last 6 weeks. But look what that turned into. Voila! Jalen had one of his most efficient games of his entire season, posting a near-perfect passer rating. And yes, his passes were on point. But to me, it's like boring, whatever. Like, commitment to the run. Just keep showing that. Put a ring on it. Go to K Jewelers. You see all those holiday commercials, like those, Hellsberg diamonds. Those people are like making out underwater. I saw a commercial yesterday. Like, how does this do with an engagement? How is this practical at all? They're like in the water, like I don't even know, Ariel and Prince Eric. Anyway, they put a ring on it. They committed to the run, okay? Slowly, and slowing down this pass rush. And drawing more defenders to the line of scrimmage. That opened things up against the Cowboys. Great defense. Are they not top 5, guys? Top 5 pass defense? Come on now. You can't just drop back at will against Micah Parsons and expect things to work out. So credit to Sirianni, our guy, to Brian Johnson, the OC. So many questions about Brian Johnson going into this year. Staying patient, I like the approach, and it paid dividends for them as the game went on. And that's what makes the Eagles so dangerous, people. They're so relentless on the ground, and then, of course, deadly through the air with my MVP candidate choice. By the way, everybody's now, A.J. Brown could be. I'm like, oh, cool.
We've been on that.
Yeah, we've been on that. I know me and Marissa are like... We put our names on that. We got it on FanDuel Sportsbook. No matter how you defend them, they're going to make you pay. Okay, should we get? I know. And Lewan is Mr. Cowboy. He's super glued his butt to the front row of that roller coaster. I don't know. He's not getting it off. It is he. We'll talk to him. But on the Cowboy side, they did battle, and I give them credit for not giving up. It sounds like I'm talking to like a third-grade soccer team, kicking and screaming vibes. But they did almost pull off a comeback, and so there's something there. It sucks because it's confusing. Like, just lay down and die, so we hate you, or so we don't trust you. But then it's like, oh well, they came up short, literally. Every single big play in this game, they were right there. It wasn't quite enough. That Lamb play. There was the 4th down. Yeah. Oh boy. 4th down to Schumacher. It looked like he scored, Mr. Schumacher, but it turned out his knee was out at the 1. Of course, there was a 2-point conversion, where it looked like Dak was in, but a replay you could see that he clearly stepped out. A lot of opportunities, womp womp, same old story. And it's not even just the same old story, it's the same old story under Coach Mike McCarthy. Emmett on my show Friday. I was not ready for that venom. Woo, girl. They're good. They're right there, these Cowboys. In big moments, they just cannot come up with the big plays, and they haven't been able to win the games that would force you to take them seriously. They're going to be fine. I think they'll make the playoffs. What would they have to do there? Beat up on the Giants? Okay. Panthers are the next 2 weeks. That's their schedule. Gosh, I demand more from this team. I reject what I'm seeing. They're going to get another shot at Philly, I think, 5 weeks from now in Dallas. Tarico mentioned that, right? That Sunday Night Football, I think. I don't know. Is there anything in the interim against those teams that they're going to do to convince me I can trust them going forward? Nope. I feel like I'm going to be on the roller coaster and do that. I'm going to be stuck upside down, like happens sometimes at Six Flags and other devastating plays. I don't want that. Okay, they have to win one of these big games at some point. And, woo! This is very wordy. I'm saying a lot of things, but I'm going to get to what happened in Germany in the morning, okay? It was Frankfurt, bratwurst and beers and all of that. I like woke up and then I wanted to go to sleep. Looked like it was going to be a blowout, 21-0 at halftime, I believe. Then turns into a thriller. Dolphins clawing back into it. I mean, everyone's frauds was trending at some point about the Dolphins. Kansas City was able to figure it out, hang on. Patrick Mahomes saying they're the best defense. That's going to be all over Talk Everything today. Are they the best defense? The win vaults the Chiefs right back into the 1 spot in the AFC, soon to lose to the Bengals at some point in time in the future. Miami, there's a story here though. Miami loses, they drop down to the 4 seed. They get to hang on to the AFC East lead for now, though, thanks to the Bengals. As for the game itself, I got to start by crediting this Chiefs defense that Mahomes talked about, okay? Because for the first time under his stewardship, they are the driver. They're the key to the Chiefs' success. And I do believe Patrick Mahomes, he's like, we'll figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Okay. I mean, he's squeezing. He is squeezing. He doesn't like ketchup on his steaks, but he is squeezing that ketchup bottle full of whatever offense he can get from whoever's around him. The defense is the reason this team won yesterday and why they're 7-2, and the offense is figuring it out. They held the Dolphins to a season-low 14 points. They sacked Tua 3 times. They forced 7 Miami punts. And they came up with the biggest defensive score of the season. This is the best thing of the season defensively. The play was wild. Mike Edwards scoops it up. It's Tyreek Hill on the fumble, which had to suck for him. They pitch it back to Brian Cook. I mean, it's a score. It's right before halftime. Everybody's juice, getting their IVs and drinking their Capri Suns and, eating their orange slices in the over there in Frankfurt, whatever they're serving over there. Can you imagine what they're serving at halftime in Frankfurt? Okay, so that's a 10-point swing right there with the Dolphins driving. It's not a cute little story, people. Oh, the Chiefs have a defense now. I'm not going to say that what he's of course going to say this is the best defense in the NFL. Is it? I mean, who's better? Ravens? Bengals? Ravens, only them, they have allowed fewer points per game. And they rank 4th right now in total defense as well. So I said it earlier in the season, and I'll say it here again. If Kansas City keeps playing like this and the defense keeps playing like this, I mean, KC might not have to look the way they have in the past offensively in order to repeat and get it done. And then, Dolphins vibes here. I just want to say this, and I'll leave it to sort of Taylor, and we'll discuss it here. And then Demario Davis will be on in a bit. I just want to say about the Dolphins, I'm not giving up on this team. I am a believer in Tua. I'm a believer in Mike McDaniel, the energy, the new leadership, the culture change. I'm a believer in what they're doing. I have faith. The facts are, though, what they are. That's not a but. It's just true. And there was forewarning about they're 0-3 against teams with winning records. You can only play who's on your schedule. I don't want to hear it. Kind of like what I just talked about with the Cowboys. A little tough love from Miss Adams this morning. They're going to have to go out there and win a big game. And it's the only way you're going to maybe. And I'm not sold that you're going to tell everybody will shut up then. Start shutting up about you. And that's rough news, by the way. They're not playing another win and shut everyone up type situation, guys, until at least mid-December. Maybe it's that Jet game if Aaron Rodgers is back. Otherwise, their next shot against the top-tier teams, Christmas Eve against Dallas. So this question is going to linger for a while. Hopefully, the Dolphins are able to use the bye to get healthier, clean some things up. Whose fault is it? Who do we put the blame on? That's sort of, unfortunately, the name of the game on this Monday. All right, Bussin' with the boys, Taylor Lewan. He just loves to give answers. He loves to throw people under the bus and tell people. Here's the thing, Taylor. Here's the thing. Even when you don't say anything, it goes viral. So you might as well let it rip, buddy.
I might just do that today.
Taylor Lewan on the show. Let me see. Taylor Lewan. By the way, all the glam girls that were here for that photo shoot the other day, they were like, "Who is that?" Right? Taylor Lewan. They were like,
Best hair of the week?
they were like, no, he had a hoodie on. I don't think he had a hat on or something. But they were like, and I was like, he is taken with the cutest family ever. Do not look at him like that. And then they were all on his Instagram. And I was like, Taylor.
I love that for him.
I love that for him too. I was like, wow, wah. Yeah, I'm looking, because I have to scroll all the way down. You understand? That's just how it works with this, because it doesn't move for me. Hold on, Dolphins.
Let me know if you need.
Dolphins. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're going to use these YouTube exclusive breaks to talk about some of these games because we have Demario Davis and Taylor Lewan on the show, but I want to get my thoughts out there, and I want to take a second to dig deeper into the action, and we start in Houston. Guys, what is not the wildest game of the year?
Stroud to the end zone, touchdown, Tank Dell, C.J. Stroud.
Like, hearts, love him. He got the ball with 46 seconds left. Texans all the way down the field for the game-winning touchdown to stun the Bucs. He threw for 470 yards. He threw for poor red zone. Scott Hansen could not get off of him. And this one was as back and forth as it gets. We were lots of jokes on our text chain about who should we have on the show? Baker Mayfield, C.J. Stroud, Baker Mayfield. I mean, they didn't have a kicker in the second half. Outside of Dobbs is the best story yesterday. They didn't have a kicker. They had to go for a bunch of fourth downs that they wouldn't have had otherwise, and then it, worked. And then they have a running back kicking a field goal. It's just craziness. It was absolute bedlam. We loved it. Our show's a big fan of this organization, the turnaround, all of that. And the Texans, they're 4-4, guys. They're in the thick of the AFC wildcard race. And D'Amico Ryans, unbelievable. Stroud, surreal. Resurrecting this franchise. And by the way, CJ's now taking complete control of the Rookie of the Year race. He's minus 550, puka. Next closest, plus 750. No, we are running away happily, with joy, with love, with CJ Stroud at this moment. There you have it, guys. That is those are my little takes on that game. It was so fun. I mean, Dobbs stole the show, but that was legit. Do you guys know that we have a little first bet tonight, first touchdown for tonight?
Ooh.
We're doing a first touchdown.
Wait, fun.
And it's not just one, it's two. They let me pick either or, which
No
is
way.
special. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll get into it at some point.
Ooh, fun.
Too strong to be defeated. My strength is within.
Taylor Lewan, the big fella, in for the touchdown.
And today I will win.
Three-time Pro Bowler, Tennessee Titans legend, host of Busted with the Boys, Taylor Lewan, good morning.
I'm happy to be here, Kay. Thank you as always. Spooktober's over, but the vibes are still high. How are we doing? How was the weekend?
The vibes are so high. Listen, I was on an airplane, I was scrolling through my timeline on the old thing, and this popped up. Who the heck is this?
Oh, you talking about that thick boy right there?
Who's that guy? Who's that Thicky?
Dude, that is such a funny photo.
Uh-huh.
You know what the most wild thing is literally when I was at the University of Michigan, I'd walk into a bar thinking, yo, you're kind of killing them out there with these looks, brother. And then you go after, that's an awesome photo because they have the same sweater that they've worn since the 1800s of when you're an All-American, you put it on, you get your photo. And that was very cool. I remember doing my hair, getting the faux hawk. I'm like, bro, you're about to be cemented in Michigan history. And then I see that photo, I go back to, I'm like,
it's
damn,
so good.
What were we doing, bro?
It's so good.
And Denard Robinson right there on the right. Guys all time.
Love Denard Robinson. And I didn't see that originally. I just saw the thing of you, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. And your hair, you mentioned your hair's discussed a lot on this show in production meetings. You win
Let's
the
go.
week in hair all the time. Maybe if you were talking about guys playing right now, Joe Burrow would be in the mix for best hair. So let's go flip it to him and these Bengals who absolutely crushed it against the Bills. They've now won 4 straight. They beat the Seahawks, the Niners, Buffalo all in a row. What did you make? What was the most impressive part of what I think is maybe Joe's best performance, the defense's best performance? I don't know what's going to stop him, buddy.
Yeah, to me, it really goes back to ignoring the noise. I heard before your break, you're talking about Miami. They don't play anybody till December. They're going to have all those questions. With the Bengals, they're abysmal the first 3 weeks of the season. And you did a phenomenal job of pointing out he's injured. Maybe we take a break going into the bye week. They obviously didn't do that, but he seems healthy. And those guys are just firing on all cylinders right now. The Bengals are a team that they're getting hot at the right time. They're like the Eagles in the way that they don't get too high with the highs and too lows with the lows. They just kind of keep it consistent, and that is the key to being successful. We're going to see them make a deep playoff run again, I think.
I thought it was crazy that McDermott's bye Chase, we're going to take, which is fine, take care of Chase, and then he just still operates like he didn't miss a beat. It didn't matter at all. Josh Allen, can't find Stephon Diggs on the field, and he's a little lost out there.
It does. It seems wild, and the game is a lot closer than I think everybody thought. When I was watching the game, it's You have 2 turnovers. Josh Allen has a pick, but then they have a fumble. The tight end gets absolutely flipped, and they have a fumble in the red zone, which turns into the Bengals getting 3. That's a 6-point swing right there. I mean, they get the Bills get the 2-point conversion. That game really could have gone the Bills' way if it wasn't for they say this in football all the time. It's 4 and 5 plays in a game that's going to win you the game, and the Bengals just happen to win it. The Bills are not dead. They're alive and well. I know they're third in their division right now, but they're going to be just fine.
Well, what is that? Why should I believe that? They've been very inconsistent.
Right.
You know, it's injuries galore, concerning losses, impressive wins. Like, what makes you think they have it this year?
The biggest level of concern for them is the injuries. You lose Matt Milano, olive oil Italian boy in the middle, all pro guy, killing it. You got a couple guys, Achilles injuries and knees injuries. For me, it's always like we're running into this new generation of quarterbacks now with obviously Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and it's just the quarterback for the Bills. You cannot sit there and say they don't have a chance every single game. He's a stud, and he has some takeaways. His ball security is terrible when he's outside the pocket. He's running. He's got those big, meaty hands. And so Josh Allen, dude, people get mad at him for some mistakes that happen, but it's also the same reason why you love him is he's playing that backyard football. He's able to extend plays and hurt you in a hurry. And so I don't think we've had Josh on the podcast, and the way he talks, the way he handles himself, I don't see him wavering in these types of situations. So I'm excited to see where the Bills go. And, okay, we cannot get in a fight with Bills Mafia. I did that one time. I got in a Twitter war with their backup D end. Yeah, I got a Twitter war with their backup D end, and Bills Mafia was murdering me left and right. Like, this guy didn't even play, and they were murdering me.
So
it was tough.
So riddle me this: who you taking, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
I mean, that's a tough question. Those are both my boys. I know Josh better.
So you're going to start a football team?
No.
Who you got?
Recency bias. You got to go Joe Burrow right now. He won that game. He was dicing them up and down the field. He did a phenomenal job, and they're catching Stroud at the right time. You got to take Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Josh is their whole. He's their RB out there. Every time I look up, he's just taking off, and I'm like, no.
Some of the plays he had too was like 3rd and 3, stiff arming guy throwing him over his shoulder and still getting 7-8 yards. It is. Dude, that's cool. Like, you don't, like, a lot of times people are like, oh, quarterback, slide. Well, Josh is like, brother, you do your thing. Keep hurdling dudes, keep doing your thing, because, like, that's the excitement that Bills Mafia needs.
You guys can hit us up at Up and Adam Show. I'm looking at some of these. Everyone's saying you have to consider coaching, which is true. You have to consider surrounding pieces and all of that. So that's interesting. I want to move on to the Cowboys game against the Eagles, of course. You are, as I said, you've super glued your butt to the front row of a rinky-dink, sort of like, I don't even know, wooden roller coaster that is the Cowboys. They disappointed again, my friend.
I know, but it was so close. And the Eagles, like I spoke about them, talking about the Bills, they're a team. They're the best put together team in the entire NFL. They win the close games. They do what they have to do. I think this is bad game management towards the end of the game for the Cowboys. There was a play there right towards the end of the game. They should have clocked it, get everybody on the line of scrimmage, get them several hook, clock it, and take a minute to get yourself going. Instead, they run your classic 9-1-1 is usually the phrase you use, which is like a 6-man protection. You're sliding people to the right, you're 1-on-1 on the left side, and you're running verts. And then you can have a parachute type of thing too. And parachute is essentially, so 9-1-1 is verts. We're to get to the end zone. I'm going to toss it up to you. And then parachute is if you're in that 25, 30-yard range to come back to those front pylons. And so it's 9-1-1 parachute. And there's different calls for that. That's essentially what they ran in that last play, which is great. But I think that play needs to be used last play of the game. You're on the ball. There's no, you don't have time to clock it. You're out of downs to clock it. You don't have timeouts. That's a situation where clock it real quick, gather your bearings. You've got 11, 12 seconds on the clock. You can throw it out of bounds real quick, get it closer, and then statistically you have a better chance of getting in the end zone. But it just seemed rushed. And in those situations, you need to, there's a level of composure you got to have when you're in those big time games on primetime television.
Who has to have that level of composure? Are you talking about Mike McCarthy?
Well, Mike McCarthy, he needs to teach that obviously during the week. Now he's a better coach than I'm not a coach, and this is where you always get frustrated with me is because I hate stepping out of bounds. I am not a coach.
But here's what I'm hearing. You're saying like you have to have better game management. To me, I'm just trying to learn. I think coach and Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer, eviscerated Mike McCarthy and his usage, the run game. He crushed him. I was like shocked. I didn't have the words for it when he did it on Friday on my show. But then, like, doesn't it come down to the players executing? Like, who's more to blame?
I think in this situation, well, it's a double-edged sword. It's a 50-50 situation because for the coaching, it's your job to instill what you need to do in strategic situations like 2 minute, like with 45 seconds left. You have to understand, every player needs to understand the basics of a 2 minute drill, where if you're playing the sideline or you're throwing the middle of the field, how many timeouts you have. When you're a receiver, you have the ball, run it to the official. Those officials are so out of shape. Those guys can't run a 45-minute mile. You need to go give it to them. They can't catch. There's no hand-eye coordination. You need to give them the ball and get set quickly. And so it goes into both. And it's on Dak Prescott as well to understanding those things. He's got the green dot. They're telling him what to do in there. But, for me, if I'm a coach, which I'm not, I'm telling those guys, hey, you need to clock it real quick. And then we need to gather our bearings. And we have it was second down, so you have two more plays to get what you need to get done.
You're just saying it's both. Okay.
It's both. No, but it is both. But it is both because that's what we always talk about in the show is like it's the greatest team sport of all time. Totally. It's the coach's job to get the guys ready, and it's the guy's job to go execute. So there needs to be
such a good life partner. Because I can imagine, because you do this all the time, so I can imagine you're never like, it's all your fault. It's all my fault. You're like, it's both of us. It's a team. Workflow wins championships. Like you never played the blame game, I bet, at home either, huh? That must be.
No, I can be bad about that. I love you painting me in this picture, but I bet you my wife would get on here right now and be like, listen, he does like to throw a little shade once in a while.
I mean, it's been 3 years, Taylor, to just be honest. It's been 3 years of these missed close calls, and it hasn't gotten better.
That is true. And
right.
that's
so if that's true, does this just might mean that they don't have it?
No, I don't think they do have it. I don't think they're going to be a team that we're looking at, in February playing. I don't think they're going to be that team. They need more pieces. They need to get rid of pieces. I don't know what those pieces are right now. Here's the issue is Jerry has done a phenomenal job of turning the Dallas Cowboys into America's team. Yes. And when you're America's team, you have this media everywhere you go. I talk to players all the time that played for or already play for the Cowboys right now. And it's like, it is what you dream of as a kid being 8 years old. Like, I'm going to go to the NFL and this is what it's all going to be like. That is what it turns into when you play for the Dallas Cowboys. That's not what you have when you're playing for a smaller media market like the Titans. So there's always this ESPNs and these NFL networks. Yeah. Everyone's going to talk about the Cowboys because they know more eyeballs come to that situation, which puts more pressure on them. Now, they're not dead. They have a possibility of making the playoffs. The NFC is kind of wide open. The Eagles are obviously top of the list right there. The 49ers have dropped 3 in a row.
Are they making the playoffs, Taylor?
I have to look at the records.
I'm sure we have them. Do we have the NFC records?
I'm sure we do. Can we pull those up? I probably could have done a better job of knowing everybody's records right now. Good job, guys.
I don't know, man. Eagles driving. No way. Yeah, Eagles. Is it a playoff team?
I don't know.
Oh my
That's a
God,
good question.
Taylor!
They're the 6th seed right now, and I just think, I don't see anybody getting up there. I can see them being a 6 or a 7 seed, but to win the division, they're not going to win the division. They're not going to. The Eagles are too good. They're the best put together team in the NFL right now, aside from the 49ers.
Are the Cowboys making the playoffs? You're saying yes.
Yes, they're going to make the playoffs. They'll be the 6th or the 7th seed.
Look at you, a man of his word. The loyalty. They're going
to squeak in there.
Listen, this Josh Dobbs thing, we can't not talk about it. Big story. A debut that he didn't know was going to happen. He leads him to a comeback, a win in Atlanta. Did you see the video about the cadence? Did you see this?
No, I did not.
He's practicing the cadence on the sideline. Like, if you're a teammate and you see him working to just learn the snap count on the sideline, what's going through your head?
Terror. Just being like, you're looking at, like, I would go talk to Ben Jones when we have, like, Mariota would go out or Tannehill would go out. You kind of sit there and go, we just got to run this thing. We got to open up holes so we don't have to put it on the quarterback. But here's the difference between Josh Dobbs and everybody else. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's an astrophysicist. He literally, in the offseason, he goes and works for NASA. And they talk, he was on our show talking about space and podcasts, intergalactical stuff. I feel like I was like in a sub-series of Star Wars. That's how intelligent this guy is. And so he gets traded on Monday. He has to learn the playbook. And running back, go ahead and learn the playbook. Left tackle, hey, the left guard can tell you what to do. You can kind of figure it out there. But a quarterback, that is absolutely insane. The fact that he went in there and did that. Here's a direct take. You want a direct take? After this year, Josh Dobbs will be a cemented starting quarterback in the NFL. That's what I think. He's got it. I think he's got it.
What's making you say this?
I've been around the guy. He's smart. He understands the game. He can throw it. He can see coverages. I think he is a good quarterback that just needs a bigger sample size at a team, right? He played for the Titans last year, had a couple of games, played well against the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. Then he goes to Arizona, and it's like, all right, was it Kyler Murray? Video games, Call of Duty? Like, he's getting the ACL right. He's doing his thing over there. Okay, now the trade happens with Kirk Cousins. Hopefully this sample size, these last 8 games or so, are going to give them a chance to be like, okay, Josh Dobbs is going to be a guy, whether it's for the Vikings or somewhere else. But I think the guy's got it. I think he's got the juice.
Can you tell me something about him I don't know?
I mean, I kind of did. Astrophysicist, right? Like the intelligent factor is something that's so hard to look past because a quarterback needs to know everybody's job. And the fact that he came in Monday, was essentially up at 6 a.m. every single day learning a playbook, and then goes and plays this game, has the cap on, doing his best to learn the signals. Okay, what are we looking for in here? There's probably a 1 GA sitting in the corner being, okay, cover 2. So this is what we're going to throw. Wait, look for the honey hole, that type of thing. And then he has to go in there in the first quarter and lead him back away. Like, that's something I can get behind. That's a story. That's a Rocky Balboa story that I can get behind, baby. I love it. I think it's amazing.
It is amazing. It was the best story. And then there was CJ Stroud. I know you have to go. Can you just really quickly talk about the Dolphins, just the snap? Can we just do that one?
Yeah, I'll talk about both those. I'll talk about CJ Stroud real quick. I am so conflicted. I tweeted this out yesterday. I'm so conflicted on the idea that CJ Stroud is good. We had him on the show 2 weeks ago. Kid is poised.
He's awesome.
Kid understands the process. He dishes out compliments when they win, and when they lose, he takes the brunt of it. He sees the field. He does an amazing job. He's very athletic. You can see them starting to get he's got the Patrick Mahomes type of swagger. I'm not going to say he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's got that swagger to where, you know, he hands it off to the running back and he's running on the sideline. Running back pitches it to him. Was that a call play? Was that not a call play? I don't know. I haven't seen the news reports on that, but it seems like they're starting to play a little backyard football that everybody at Houston can get behind. My confliction with that is obviously they're in the same division as the Titans, and I want the Titans to beat their ass every single time. But I think if you're a Texans fan right now, you got to be you're cutting the cigar Sunday night going, hey boys, we got somebody here now.
Amazing.
We got somebody.
And the coach,
Dolphins.
the culture change. No. Dolphins is this very specific question. We have the theatrics, the dramatics. It was in Germany. Tua, it's a minute left in the fourth, if we have it. Tua can't handle the snap, and the Dolphins lose their chance to tie the game. Is this more on the center, more on Tua, or what do you think here?
Who was that ball right to the right?
Let's take a look.
The ball was off to the right.
Let's take a look. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right play. No, I don't know what that is. Oh, there we go.
Fourth down. Listen, you as a quarterback, you need to catch that ball. But as the center, they're going in there today. Well, they flew back. So their next team meeting, they're going to sit there and tell a center, listen, brother, you got to put it on them. Like, we're in a fourth down situation, a GBOT. Like, we got to get going here in this situation. You got to put that ball on them. So that is, here I go again, that's on both of them. I need
you to have, like, I'm going to send you, like, a coin or, like, a dartboard or, like, something to, like, you can't put more blame on both the center and the quarterback. Who was that on?
Team sport, Kay. Team sport.
That one
That's
play?
What we're doing here.
We're talking about one play.
That one play. What you need to talk about is the muffins he was throwing on first, second, and third down in that last series. Because they were literally, the Kansas City Chiefs did a terrible job of game management. If you're in 3rd and 1 in the situation, you're dropping back, and I get it. They're moving the pocket. They're trying to get a nice little completion on 3rd and 1, 2 or 3, whatever it was. Then you have to punt it away. Right before the 2-minute warning, you could have just ran that thing, let it run down, or have them burn a timeout. That's better time management. And then Miami gets it. They run the ball a couple times, and they get X plays, 15 to 20 yards X plays, and then we go to drop back when the game's really on the line. And whether it was a miscommunication with the routes or it was just bad throws, it was tough to see. And I know no one's hurting more than Tyreek Hill. I don't know him very well personally, but I feel for my boy right now because he wanted it. Because this is just me praying as if he's dead. Hey, brother.
I got you.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
I mean, people say they can't win in a big spot against good teams.
If you look at their record, the teams they've lost to have winning records. The ones they beat, what would you say? God, I gotta get an answer. I would say you did an amazing job saying that they were going to go. They're not going to play a real team until December.
Oof.
I think you go win those games, you're going to be in the playoffs anyway, and then we can have that argument again when we get into Christmas time when the jolly fat man is running around giving us presents. Like, we can have that conversation then, but let's focus on just winning a bunch of games, winning the East, feeling good about that, and making it into the playoffs, as they can really do that this year.
You can't even dress up as the jolly old man the way you're looking these days. What a sad thing. You can't even be Santa Claus anymore.
I'll put a fat suit or something like that on. I'll do a little something.
Taylor Lewan, you're the absolute best, busting with the boys, and you got a tight schedule. You went over with us to talk about the great Josh Dobbs, who should be a starting quarterback for maybe the Vikings next year. Demario Davis, you see that strip sack yesterday? Off Bajan?
I did not see
Ooh,
it. I did not see
We'll
the
show it
strip
to you
sack.
after this. Demario Davis popping on the show to talk about it and how the Saints are #1 in the NFC South. And just like that, the mustache one, Arthur Smith. See you later, alligator. We'll be back with more highlights and more games. Let's get into it. I want to talk Seattle-Baltimore. I think what would be fun, Bailey, is to do a comp of all the times he's so indecisive, it's so funny. Because at one point, he's going to snap into, like, being removed enough.
Yeah.
He's so funny. It's all such good info, but he never will take a side. It's so good. We have to play with that next week, Boldfar. We have to play with, like, we got to put him on the spot. Like, just something, like, you cannot 50% this. Okay, let's do it. Where is that? I don't see that between the A and the B. Or no, it's between the B and the C?
It should be.
Yeah, it's not in there. Between the B and the C. Break over. Now I have Falcons, Vikings. Oh, here it is. Got it.
See.
Okay, cool. This was what I was going to try to tell you guys about, is that first of all, our profit boost token crushed. Like, last night, Bengals, Bills, so many people got them. I mean, people are putting out there, like, 11-leg parlays, like human centipede parlays. What are we doing out here? We thought we'd switch it up a little, have some fun, thanks to FanDuel. We're going to go to, this Up and Adams boost here. We have more action for you tonight on FanDuel Sportsbook. You get a double shot at a first touchdown score. This is cool, because usually if you're doing, like, who's going to score the first touchdown, you can only pick one. But FanDuel is cool enough to let me pick two. If you want to hop in, Austin Eckler, maybe the most explosive weapon. CMC vibes. He's that whole offense, and he's healthy. Or Garrett Wilson. One of those two, either or, score first in this game. You win. I'll be watching along with y'all on Twitter, and we'll do this if you want to get in. That's a pretty nice boost. Pretty nice boost to plus 400 odds over at FanDuel. I think when you guys do those and we want to put them on social, you should have my face on it. I don't know if we could even do that again. I just think that going out on social isn't very helpful. We did that Friday because you guys left, I think I was on Zoom, so you guys left it on the full screen for the whole minute. And we put that up, but I don't think it's super helpful. Okay, great. Okay. Torn ACL? Shit. That sucks.
See, when I woke up, I was going to ball and dominate on them anyway. But the word today is necessary. See, when I woke up, I said I was going to do it, but then I realized it was necessary. Yes, sir. See, my people at home, they count on me. They don't eat about for a while, so it's necessary. Defense, if we don't dominate, we ain't going to win. So it's necessary. Offense, if we don't score a lot of points, we ain't going to win. So it's necessary. Special team, we need field position all day. What is it? Necessary. Now let's go. Dominate on me. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
After leading the Saints with 10 tackles and racking up the key strip sack to seal the win over my hometown Chicago Bears, I thought it was necessary that we have Demario Davis pop on the show. Demario, it's so good to see you.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? How you?
I'm good. I'm blessed. You are too, of course. Like, it's just so nice to see your face. Love seeing you, and I love in those speeches. If you look at it behind you, it's just Jameis Winston, just like looking at you, like taking notes in his head. Like, this is how you do it.
Yeah, that's my guy right there, man. James always gonna make sure you feel charged up. He's a good motivator for the team as well. He's like that in the locker room with everybody. He's always loud, vocal, and keeping guys full of energy, so it's fun.
Now, when you do those pregame speeches, you inherited them from Drew Brees, of course. Are they off the dome, or are you sitting like writing in a notebook in the locker room while you're getting an IV drip before? Like, where do they come from?
Hey, it's a little bit of all of it. It take a lot. I'm usually meditating on it and thinking, trying to make sure I got the right word. But there is like a little storyline if you follow, like if you go back to the beginning of the season to where we are now, there's a unique kind of cryptic code in there, and I want to see who's gonna figure it out first.
Wait.
Yeah. If you got to go back to the first one and follow all the way through, there's a little cryptic code, there's a little theme in there.
What do you mean by cryptic code? Like Da Vinci Code? I'm like running through the Louvre trying to find clues? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, you got to find the clues. It's all there. You got to go back and look at the first one and follow the series.
Okay.
It's something unique in there.
I didn't know that.
And see who figure out. But then if you figure it out, you'll be able to anticipate kind of what's coming next.
Oh my gosh. So I mean, what does that mean? You're going to like totally like rip a quarterback apart? Because after what I saw yesterday, that's been the growth of this season on defense. Whatever you're doing, whatever meditating, whatever cryptic, it's working for you, Demario. Game-sealing strip sack.
Praise God.
Yeah, Tyson Bagent. Praise God. And he's talking to God this morning, not liking what happened. Walk me through this.
So, when we get on our third downs, we usually have different packages of what we're trying to do on third downs and how we're going to get at the quarterback. And so for me, it was all about setting up the guard, setting a pick, and either I'm going to come free or the defensive end going to come free. And, when I came off the pick, quarterback was right there. I thought he was getting ready to throw the ball. That's why I dove. And I just actually, ended up getting a good hit on the ball, and the ball came out. I thought Tyron was going to scoop it and run into the crib. But he knocked it over to Pete, and Pete got it. So we got added two takeaways in the LB room right there, the strip sack and the fumble recovery.
We love to see it, and I especially yesterday enjoyed not only you, it's year 12 for you, but Brandon Graham's out there doing his thing, like veterans, OGs, people. You've been doing this for so long, okay? You're on your way to your 5th straight All-Pro selection, Demario, especially after yesterday. How have you been able, be honest, to play at such an elite level for so long?
Man, praise God. I think number one, so much has been, I say a blessing from above just because I've been able to stay healthy. I feel like when you're not able to stay, healthy, it kind of can take years off your game. So that's been huge. I have a phenomenal team around me that helps me. As soon as the game over, I'm already back on the treatment table, taking care of my body. I played with a lot of great guys that I was able to learn from. Like when I came in, I was on teams with guys like Darrell Revis, Antonio Cromartie, Dave Harris, Berkershaw Ferguson, Nick Mangle, guys who had played 10 plus years, but they showed me what to do. And then just being able to pick brains of guys who I looked up to, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. And so what that allowed me to do was take my skill set and apply the wisdom to the game, not just taking care of my body, but being able to play at a high level. If you don't play at a high level, you're just not going to stick around. It's the not-for-long league, and that's not always due to injury. And so I've just been blessed to be around a lot of people who I could draw wisdom from and have just tried to apply. And, like I said, praise God.
I was going to say, you started with God is good, and it's been so incredible to watch you all these years and back-to-back wins for the Saints. And I feel like a lot of people were worried about the Saints a little bit with some of those losses early on. What clicked? Like, after that Jags loss, something happened.
Well, we just had to get realistic. We knew how good we could be, and we know what type of players that we have in the locker room. We know from a defense standpoint that we have to set the tone, but it's a reason why that is. We're just as talented on other areas of the ball, but like on offense, you got a new quarterback coming over, and he's had a ton of production in this league, but it's going to take them time to gel to get their rhythm like they're doing now. And we knew that if we could just kind of hold the fort down until they got it together and they start building more chemistry, that we were going to have a chance to shock a lot of people. And it looks like we're starting to get into that groove. But, our main thing is, putting the work in during the week and stack them up, but look back and let them stack up. You know, and we ain't counting nothing that's in front of us. We still got a long way to go. We got a lot of work to put in. We did some great things yesterday, like on defense. We were able to get 5 takeaways, but we still gave up way too many yards. We didn't like it. So we got to go back to the lab and get back to work. And I feel like the offense probably feels the same way. They left a lot of meat on the bone.
That's what I like to. I like to hear that, but give yourself some credit. You said 5 takeaways. That's crazy. And you mentioned the offense and the chemistry. Derek Carr has had success in this league, and he's heating up. No joke. 4 touchdowns, no picks over these 2 games. You go up against him, you see him day in, day out. What have you noticed about his evolution over the last couple weeks?
Oh, man, there's no type of quarterback that you want in your building than somebody like him. I mean, he's one of the first ones in, last one to leave. Every time you see him, you know, he got an iPad in his hand, he's studying, he's talking to guys, he's very relatable. He just brings a different type of to that group. And I feel like everybody in the building is confident when he's at the wheel, and that's what you really want to have as a leader, somebody that instills confidence in everybody. And you know, just a great teammate, phenomenal leader, and it's beautiful watching them catch their stride. I mean, when you have weapons like, you know, Mike T, Chris Olave, Rashid, Alvin Kamara, you know, many ends, and the offensive line doing their thing. You know, for him, in a lot of ways, you're like, okay, well, just don't mess it up.
Yeah.
But man, he's so dialed in chasing greatness that for him, excellence is the standard, and he's just not going to be satisfied until they arrive there. So, I think everybody is seeing that evolution kind of coming into play. But I'm excited to see, you know, where it's really going to go to in the heights of it.
You had Drew so long. Do you ever look at Carr, not even from like an exo standpoint, but see like characteristics that he has that remind you of him?
I mean, you can see characteristics just because, you know, greatness is going to mimic greatness. But 2 totally different players, 2 totally different leaders. Derek is a lot more vocal than Drew was. And, you know, they just have unique skill sets. But, I mean, Drew was so great for us, but that was the old regime.
Yeah.
This is where we are now. You know, I feel like you can't go forward if you're looking behind you.
And it's
you know,
working.
And so, yeah, and it's flowing.
And
so we had great then, and we're achieving greatness now. So that's what we like to hear.
I like that you say confidence, Demario, because I was thinking about this after this win. It was real important for Derek to get this win. Superdome crowd, not super happy with them last time y'all played in New Orleans, so I can imagine the confidence that builds in a guy like Derek Carr to keep yourselves in first place. First place of the NFC South, sole possession for the first time since Week 17 of 2020. And the way you're talking about this team, it feels like there's still another level that we haven't seen yet, huh?
And we're just trying to keep going forward. We're just trying to keep going forward week by week. We understand where we are. We understand what we're trying to get to. And, you know, it's just next up. You know, it's the one that's in front of us.
I had to shout out your guy, Paulson Adebo. Okay, let's do it here. 2 interceptions.
Come on.
Forced fumble recovery. Are we kidding here? What do we got?
Oh, man. Look, it's Strap City in New Orleans. You got Lattimore. I mean, he's playing phenomenal this season. I mean, every time you target him, he's making big plays. I think he's 4 interceptions. He had like 3 PBUs yesterday, just been locked up. And I think when you look at him, just the time he's come in, he's somebody that's after practice, focusing on the little details, doing little stuff. He's always in the film room, you know, and he's somebody, he's not talkative. He's just going to come in and put his work in. And, I mean, you got May back there, you got Tyron back there, you got him, Marshawn, Alante at nickel. I mean, it's Strap City in New Orleans. I mean, you look at the stats, it speaks for itself. I mean, it's easy to praise those guys, but I think if you go look at the stats, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's nice to see some consistency with Lattimore back there, having him have somebody to help him out. I like that. And, you know, the stats speak for themselves. I had Cam Jordan on my show, and he goes, Kay, I don't want to hear the stats. I don't want to hear about how good our defense is. I want a Super Bowl. I want a Super Bowl. You're saying Adebo doesn't talk a lot. Cam talks a lot. And he, my friend, I don't know if you saw this before the game, but he could not help himself. Do you see this?
Oh, gosh. And now he ain't got enough of hitting Matt Ryan. He gotta had enough of hitting him in his career, man.
Matt is like, nothing scarier than Cam Jordan. I mean, he told me he'd always sack him and say, thank you, Matt. Thanks for another one.
Oh yeah, Cam's something else, man. I think he used to send gifts to Matt.
Yeah, we're celebrating the win here, and we should, and we're celebrating only looking forward. So let's do that. Peek ahead. You got the Vikings next week. Did you see the Josh Dobbs highlights? I know you were. I mean, this was crazy.
Yeah. To get there a week of, to go out, start a game. I mean, when you think about all that goes into this game and getting ready for a Sunday, especially at a position like quarterback, for him to go out, I think it's that right there is remarkable. But then to be able to find a way to get a win in the end of the game in unique fashion, I think it just speaks highly to him. It speaks highly to that team. It speaks highly to their coaching and their preparation. And so it's definitely going to be a challenge for us. So, looking ahead to looking forward to getting back to work and dialing them up.
A lot of people want that dream to keep going, but you guys want to crush poor Dobbs' dreams up there with the Vikings in this Week 10 matchup. Good luck to you. Hey, did Sean Payton hit you up after that strip sack?
No, man, I ain't talked to Sean. Man, he don't fool with me no more. I'm letting him be known, putting it out there. They need to hit me up. Text my phone right here.
Wow. Sean, gotta call your boy. Are you kidding? That's crazy. I guess he's busy. I guess he's got a lot. He's got a lot going on. Demario,
yeah, everybody down there.
Yeah. Congrats on the NFC South. The top of it, the top dogs to beat right now in that division, and of course on all the success and just an incredible career so far, and it's keeping on going. Go get that ring. Go get that ring.
Appreciate it, Kay. You take care. Be blessed.
You take care as well. You be blessed. We love talking to Demario Davis. There's no way anything better happens today during my day than getting to talk to him. He's like the best. Love talking to him. We've got more Up and Adams up ahead. Big thanks to Taylor Lewan, the indecisive Taylor Lewan. Can't make a decision on anything. I would like to see him at a grocery store picking out cereal. That must be real fun.
He got so many things in his save for later Amazon order.
I love Demario Davis. I love him. I could just eat him for breakfast. He's so sweet.
He's just like sunshine. I just love listening to him talk.
He matters so much there.
Yeah.
He matters so much. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, we definitely have to hit the Ravens. Let's do that. Sure. Guys, we're going to do that promo one more time. Let's do it.
All right.
Yes. Go for it. Okay, we had a lot of fun last night with our Profit Boost token. You're welcome. I like the Boost Fairy just flittering around, making you guys happy over at FanDuel. Tonight, we're going to try something a little different. I did this with basketball a couple times last season. Have never done it with the NFL. Tonight sounds pretty good. You got Chargers, Jets, FanDuel Sportsbook, and it's not just one. You get two. It's like a double shot, which is unique and kind of cool. Thank you, FanDuel Sportsbook, for always pushing the edge and the limit for me. So if either Austin Eckler or Garrett Wilson scores, you win. Who scores first? Is it one of these two guys? I think they've got a good shot. Explosive Austin Eckler. He's like the offense. Garrett Wilson. I like it. Okay, we have some awesome stuff over at FanDuel Sportsbook, but these are boosted to plus 400. Enjoy, and tweet me about it. Tweet me if it doesn't happen. Give me your venom. I've been crushing it so far. Ow. Cool. Yep. Now I'm trying to see where we are, where this is in my. I know that, but I don't trust that, and its prompter has not had the best day. So where is...
It should be C block, I believe.
C block. I don't see it.
Attaboy's in there.
No, deep box says Demario. My deep, or...
It's underneath that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I see it. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys. No, I'm good where I am now. And we have a SOT for Lamar.
Nice
right?
move.
Oh, these Ravens. You guys, how about this Ravens defense? There's a reason we didn't go all the way in on the Seahawks. I just had a feeling.
I also had a feeling. and I want to root for Geno so badly.
He hasn't played well enough this year.
I think they're great. I just don't know if they're like, I mean, they could turn it around still. I would want nothing more for Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. Devin Witherspoon, JSN, my boys. I really like the
How long
Ravens,
is
man.
peak in
OBJ finally went off last night.
I know, on his birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
We playing like that, we don't even need to hit no peak or stride. Just keep staying locked in how we are and just playing every opponent the same way. You know, physicality, being smart, and defending what's ours. You know, our home turf.
Ooh, heavyweight battles. Yesterday, the one in Baltimore was not one because it was a smash, 37-3. Oh my gosh, the score was an obliteration, guys. That's the second time in 3 weeks that the Ravens have just taken care of a contender in the NFC. It's amazing. They've won 4 straight. They're a league best plus 115 on the season in point differential. And I'll say what impresses me most is they're just picking each other up on every level. Like, it's amazing. The defense on the field a bunch in the first quarter, no problem. The offense goes on 2 double-digit play touchdown drives in the second. Odell, oh no, he fumbles. Late in the half to give the Seahawks some life. Let's do it. No, like Kyle Van Noy says, nope, let's take it right back from old Geno and set up another Ravens score. So it's not always perfect, but the Ravens just look like they have one of the most complete teams in the NFL. After Bengals yesterday against the Bills, I can't really say they're the most complete team, but they look so good, and they can beat you in so many different ways. And they've moved all the way to the second best odds to win the AFC overall, if you look at the old sports book. So plus 440, that's good. The Chiefs still have the shortest odds at plus 240. Baltimore continues to close in there. All right, which games didn't we get to? We had a list here. See, guys, we had a list of all the things that we wanted to get to. No, we didn't get to Cleveland, Arizona. It adds to our thing about playing at home on the road. We're not going to do that. Oh, your Packers won.
We did win.
There's a nice 37-yard grab by Christian Watson. Love to Watson, heating up, no?
Yeah, he's heating up. We're giving the ball to Jones.
Finally.
I can wear gear. I don't have to hide anymore in the shadows and the shame.
Beautiful vintage T-shirt.
This is the
Yeah,
Super
I don't
Bowl
know. Dobbs
right
is
here.
the story. Dobbs stole the story from the Lions. The Lions were the story for 3 months. Dobbs came in 1 week and complete. The NFC North belongs to Josh Dobbs, who's an astrophysicist.
Josh Dobbs,
apparently. I can't even pay a bill or to California Dot for a toll thing. But he's